leave it to Holo Taco to use magnets to pull us in to 2026. Welcome back to another video on Darling Little Artist. Today we are testing out Holo Taco's new Magnetics collection. It's being branded as their Valentine's Day launch, and I have to say I am so excited to test out these magnetics, especially with this brand new magnet, because I struggle a little bit with magnetics and I feel like this might make it a little bit easier and make me want to try out some new nail art using magnetics. And I have to be honest, that would be great inspiration to get me to do a little bit more of that in the new year. I'm well aware that this is being posted way after the new year, but this is my first video on this channel in 2026, so I feel like I'm granted at least saying that a couple times, but I promise I will stop. Let's take a look at the collection. We have Lust in Translation, Playing the Fields, Pretty Privilege, Flirt Alerts, Polar Opposites, and the new Sweetheart Taco. Now let's take a look at the magnet that we're going to be using. This is Holo Taco's new super magnet. This does a 3D velvet magnetic effect, and so I'm very excited to be able to play with this, play with these polishes and also other magnetic polishes. I would love to test out all of them out and see how they look with this effect. But let's safely get this ready to go. So I'm just very slowly pulling this little plate off of it. Okay, so since there's so much wait time with magnetics, I thought that I would get started with painting and then kind of look at the descriptions of what each polish is as I'm waiting. So that's kind of what I'm going to do. I'm already prepped with a base coat, so I'm all ready to just dive into the magnetics. The first one that I want to do is Lust in Translation. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that on. I know there's some people who are able to paint it on in the magnet. Maybe I will try that. Ooh, actually, I want to shake it up first. I know these you really have to shake up. Okay. But I'm gonna have to close it. That's the thing. How do people do this while also being able to close the bottle? Because I don't want to leave it open for so long. Ah, okay. Let me try it. See if this works. It's already giving such a cool effect. Okay. Come on. Maybe I can use the other fingers to close it. Okay. Ah, okay. We'll let that set. Let me take a look at this new shade, Lust in Translation. I hope you guys don't mind. I accidentally added it to my cart instead of clicking on the description. Way to go, Becky. Okay. I hope you don't mind. I'm fully just looking at my notes on my phone, reading off the website. Yeah. Well, that's just how this year is going. I usually try and hide that a little bit better, but I'm just gonna read. So, Lust in Translation. It is a soft lilac linear hollow magnetic. So one thing that Christine said that she tried to do with these magnetics is, even though they're all magnetic polishes, she wanted to still have different formulas with those magnetics. So I think that's really cool. I usually love lilac. I do feel like this is very neutral. I will admit, I think some of the other flashier colors intrigue me a little bit more. But I do think that every collection kind of needs to have this like neutral kind of touchstone color. So I am looking forward to that. Also, I think, because I did paint this hand last night just to kind of get a feel for the polishes. And I do feel like this polish, like when the light hits it just right, it really does just like really show the bling, I will say. I think that's gonna be something that will really make it pop. Magnetic polishes take forever to like dry process. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people say that you just need it for like a minute. I like to do at least 5 minutes just to really feel like I've let it dry enough. That looks like a really good first coat. It really does just kind of like blind you there. Like, look at that. I know that's just kind of like the lighting of it that I have on my setup, but like, oh my gosh. Let's not waste too much time because we have plenty to do. We are now going to be painting on Playing the Field. This one might be my favorite. I love purple, and I love kind of just the vibe it gives. It's a little bit bolder, a little bit darker. I think it's a cool contrast with the other like bright pinks. Okay. So this is a multi-chrome magnetic polish. It's magenta purple shimmer and an aqua teal magnetic pull, or aqua teal multi-chrome magnetic pull. And it really does have that kind of shift from purple to teal, which I think is just so cool. And I think it just gives a cool vibe to this collection. So I'm excited. I like this one. And I think the way it kind of turns out is pretty nice. I hope your January was pretty good. And February, because I probably won't be posting this until later in February, which is a little sad, but it is what it is. I have been getting really into crafting. So basically for me, like right now it's winter and it is starting to warm up, but for a while there it was so cold and I did not want to do anything. So I really embraced that vibe and was just like, okay, then these 2 months I am just gonna hang out at home. I've been doing a lot of crafting. I'm getting into some Valentine's Day crafting. I've done some crocheting, some more crocheting. I have weaved a rug and got to practice some different stitching with that, which was really fun. For Valentine's Day, I made some Lego roses and I did some diamond painting. Let me get to painting the next nail. Looking good. So the next one we are going to be painting on is Pretty Privilege. Let's get her going. It's kind of a sheer coat, but I think we'll be able to build it up. I just don't want to mess it up too much. So I'm gonna let that kind of do its thing. What was I saying before? Oh yeah. So with crafting, what I'm trying to do in general with 2026 is with some of my hobbies, at least, I'm really trying to embrace the seasons. I feel like when I do that, I just feel very connected to the present and to what I'm doing in that moment, and really just feels like I'm in tune with the world, which sounds a little weird, but to me, I like that idea. So what I'm trying to do with a lot of my stuff, I'm doing this with my reading journey. So if you want to hear more about that, I will be posting a video on my other account, Darling Little Writer. You can hear more about that. But for crafting, what I'm doing is I've basically sorted different crafts by season. And I have a list like, okay, what am I going to do? What crafting am I going to do in the winter? What's in the spring, summer, fall, you know. So, and basically I had that list, and then I'm not trying to complete the list this year. It's going to be kind of an ongoing thing for me. It's going to be something that like I check off things, I add things to, but I'm working within the season. So whatever I'm able to finish this winter, great. If I'm not able to finish it, it gets moved to next winter. And then that way I don't get bogged down by things that feel really like in the past. Is that how I want to describe it? I don't know. For me, doing something very February, very Valentine's themed in March feels like I am just behind, and it doesn't feel right, and it doesn't feel like I am living in the moment. It feels like I am still in February even though it's March, and I want to just move on with March. But even though if wasn't able to finish all the crafts I wanted to do, I don't want that to mess with my kind of perspective of the year. If that makes any sense at all. I don't know if this is, but that's kind of my thought process. So basically, end of February, I kind of stop the winter crafts and move on to spring. And I focus on spring crafts until we get to June. And then I'll focus on summer crafts until we get to September. And then I'll focus on fall crafts until we get to December, which, let's be real, I'm going to focus on like specifically Christmas crafts. And then January, February are like the other winter crafts, if you will. I don't really know if that's like the proper way to live life, but that's how I kind of want to live my life. I don't want to feel like I'm just constantly behind, but I also don't want to limit myself to not adding to my, you know, things I want to do. So I am doing this system. Before I talk myself further into that rabbit hole, let's get on the other polish. This is Flirt Alert. Looking at Pretty Privilege right now. It's kind of sheer, but it will build up. But it does have that cool velvet effect when you like look at the side. That looks pretty cool. Okay. Let's get going. Okay. All right. This one is probably my second favorite aside from Playing the Fields. I love the boldness of this. This is just so, I love that. And I also really like kind of the effect it gives. Like already you can kind of, I don't know. It looks cool. Let's learn about it. Basically is a raspberry pink base, a light pink magenta pole, and a scattered hollow. So it feels like the formula feels pretty simple, but I think the color really makes it and just makes it look really cool, which I think sometimes you need. I think sometimes if you get a little crazy with the formula, like the color doesn't always shine through. It's usually the special effect. This really focusing on like the bold color and then just like the magneticness of the polish, I think is really cool. Do I want to try and continue what I was saying before? I don't even know if that made any sense. But basically, I just want to live in the moment more, and I want my hobbies to reflect that. And I want my hobbies to reflect kind of the season I'm in. And I want to have kind of a to-do list, but I also don't want to hold myself to being able to complete that to-do list every season because it's not really possible. So I basically just have kind of a list per season of like what I want to accomplish. And then if I don't finish it, then that's fine. It just gets moved to next year and I can just continue. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see if I can make it through the year. But I like that. I think last year I really felt like I was rushing myself. I was really putting a lot on me, and I just felt like I didn't accomplish all I wanted to do because I had such high expectations. And I'm hoping that this kind of takes away that pressure while also just making the most of each season and time of year and really trying to feel present. So that I feel like sums it up a lot better. We might just go with that explanation. Magnetics take forever. But I will say this is a lot easier to do with this magnet because the wand that we use that Holo Taco has had in the past, like I cannot put my fingers on top of it. I have to hold it above. And that is just like so time consuming. With this, I feel like I can at least do things with this hand while I'm waiting for it to finish. So there's that. But all right, let's pull her out. Look at that. Look at that shine. Oh, that looks so cool. I'm so excited for this to get built, all these shades to get built up. The last polish that we're doing is Polar Opposites. This is a blue polish, which I think is really cool. A nice kind of contrast. Another nice contrast for a very pink and girly collection. So let's get this on the pinky real quick. Look at that. Okay. All right. See, so much easier. This magnet is so much easier to work with because you can I can close the bottle so much easier. It takes up, I still have this hand free. It's so nice. Okay, let's learn about Polar Opposites, shall we? A magnetic polish with an aqua blue base, a pale blue silver magnetic pool, and an aqua green shimmer. So very aqua, very blue. I think I'm really happy that Holo Taco decided to use a blue in a Valentine's Day collection. I think it just kind of rounds out the palette a little bit better. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to catch you guys up on. Not really. I've just been crafting. That's really what I've been doing. I haven't really been able to do much nail art. Honestly, if I'd ever do nail art, I'm gonna post about it. At this point, I'm just I cannot just put in so much effort to my nails and not take a picture and post it. It's not even making content for me. It's more just I want a way to kind of remember the art that I did and kind of take a log, have a log of it, kind of track it. So that's what it's about for me, really. While this coat is finishing up, it is getting kind of late and I still need to eat dinner. So I'm actually gonna go off camera to paint the last two coats. I know, but I will be back to give my thoughts. I will also be back to paint on the Sweetheart Taco. It's just gonna be a second for you guys. So I'm sorry that I can't show that process. But a girl's gotta eat and yeah. So my food's probably already cold. So I will be right back, hopefully with all the coats finished. All right, I am back and I have all the coats of the magnetic polishes on my nails. I am obsessed. I love these polishes. I think they're so fun. I love just watching the magnetic Yeah, it's so much fun. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we are going to add the Sweetheart Taco to these nails. Even though I've already added a glossy taco, I still want to use the magnet just in case. I am just paranoid because I don't know what it is, but I just have not had the best luck with magnetics in the past, and I just want to be as careful as possible. So I don't know if I'll be able to do any like purposeful placement of the hearts. We're just gonna go with random placement because that feels more realistic to my skill level. So just a reminder, this topper is not magnetic. I am just using the magnet because I am painting on magnetic polish and I just don't want to lose any of the magnet effect as I re-wet the nail polish. Oh my gosh, this is like, I guess I didn't really talk about what the Sweetheart Taco is, and I probably should do that. Yeah, it is small and mini pink holographic heart-shaped glitters in a clear base. Now I am going to try and like pull up some more hearts, really get in there and really try and be more aggressive with my placements. Okay, let's, oh, come on. Just, yeah, I did it. Oh my God, okay. I want to be gentle with it, but you gotta be a little, you really gotta just get in there. So that's cute. Okay. We're getting there. I feel pretty good about that. Oh, I am trying to watch more shows and movies this year, or at least I want to. I feel like I really haven't intentionally really sought out or watched many shows that I keep telling myself I want to watch, but then I don't. And I don't know why. I guess my attention span is just not what it used to be. And I can watch TikTok for like hours on end, but sitting down to even watch a TV show, that used to be, yeah, TV. It's funny how TV shows used to be the thing that you would watch when you had a shorter attention span, because you only had to commit to like a half hour or hour at a time, where movies you kind of had to commit to like at least like an hour and a half. But like now, like I feel like even watching TV shows, you just feels like a lot, where instead you could just watch like little TikToks that have like clips of TV shows on them. But I want to get back into actually watching shows. You know, I think the Sweethearts are just going to be subtle. A little subtle final touch. I think that's all I'm going to be able to do. Oh gosh. That's okay. To be honest, I kind of just like the magnetics by themselves. But it's Valentine's Day, so of course I'm going to add little hearts to it, you know, but I do like the magnetics just on their own some. But let me know if you want to hear my thoughts on different shows or movies. I think that would be interesting to do like nail art inspired by a show and just talk about my thoughts. I could do that after I finish like a show. That's an idea. I don't know if I'm talented enough for that though. Nah, maybe I could. Actually, did I just come up with that idea? Because I also feel like with nail art, to like, yes, people can do amazing looks that are like hand drawn pictures and it's so impressive. But I also think you can do like simple nail art or even a Skittle Mani that gives the vibes of something, and it's still creative. It's still fun to do. So maybe that might be a new thing I do. I might start with shows that I love and then kind of work my way through like different shows I'm watching. Like, I grew up on Friends. I feel like I would have to do something with Friends on there. I absolutely love Gilmore Girls. It was a huge part of my personality for so long. Yeah, and I feel like a lot of like my favorite stuff in my formative years is celebrating 20th anniversaries, like Hannah Montana, High School Musical. Yeah, I think I might start that series where I paint, because I've already done the album, or like not album, but musical artist where I'll paint nail arts inspired by the album. I think I might start doing that with shows and movies, and that might help me get into watching those shows. So that's an idea. Let me know if that might be interesting for you. I'm gonna have to put that on my idea board for 2026. That, see, just, I love when I just sit down and be creative with anything I do, and then I suddenly have all these ideas for other things. I just feel like for a lot of people, you just kind of have to do it. And I think in a way that is freeing. Nothing that feels overwhelming. No big pressure on yourself for like completing huge tasks. Like, take it a little bit at a time and just allow yourself to play. And then just go from there. I got a ton of hearts on this one, which actually it looks really good with this, with Flirt Alert. But yeah, it's like, I probably could have worked on placing those a little bit better, but that's okay. It feels very random, but I think it works. One last nail. So, kind of got something there. We'll see how that works. When I was younger, I would rewatch shows all the time. And for whatever reason, the past couple years, I have not been able to just sit down and rewatch shows. In my head, I'm just like, I've seen this. I want to see something new. And I don't know what that says about me. I don't know if I should be concerned. I don't know if it's a good thing. I'm not really sure. Maybe as I do nail art inspired by these different shows, maybe I can go back and rewatch them, at least ones that I haven't seen in a long time. Although the ones that I haven't seen in a long time are like so many seasons, and I don't know if I want to commit to that. One more coat of Glossy Taco to seal everything in, and then we'll be done. Okay, I finished with my Glossy Taco, and I think the nail look is done. I did feel like I was able to do other things with my hand while it was drying, and so I really enjoyed doing this nail look. And I enjoyed just hanging out again. It's been a while since I did this. I did take a break in January from filming, and so it's nice to get back in there. But yeah, I'm really excited to play with magnetics It's inspiring me to try other nail art and get back into that. So I'm really excited for this year and for what it has to bring and for what I might be able to do in it. Like always, I will be posting pictures on my socials. You can check me out on Instagram or TikTok at Darling Little Artist. You can also check out the shorts on this channel because I do post there as well. Yeah, I feel all ready for Valentine's Day. I'm loving this so much and I'm so excited for what else Holo Taco plans to release. I also might be interested in checking out maybe some other nail brands. I know, shocking, especially ones with magnetics, to see how they look. Now that I have this magnet, I am so excited about this little magnet. But just look at it, it's so tiny. I honestly thought it was gonna be bigger, but it's just this little thing. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, okay. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I will be back with more content this year on all my adventures. I don't know, I've talked about crafting, I've talked about watching TV shows and movies and doing nail art inspired by them. So we'll see what I come up with this year. Who knows what may come of this channel. Be sure to subscribe to find out what comes. Thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you next time. Bye!